Welcome back to the John Fredericks Radio Network. Great to have you with us. I want to welcome all of our listeners across America and the globe. This is where America comes to talk in the morning. Well, we're deep behind enemy lines. The boys are back in town. Chap Peterson World Headquarters here in Fairfax County, Virginia. Judge Jeanine Pirro coming up with a treat for you. She has a new book out, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals. And she's joining this panel with, well, a bunch of liberals. Chap Peterson, Dave Marston, although they don't call themselves liberals, well, that's how they vote. Also, Ben Tribbett is with us, longtime Democratic consultant. The Godfather, Dick Saslaw, the Senate Minority Leader in Virginia, hoping to become Majority Leader once again in 2019. And former Congressman and friend of Judge Jeanine, Tom Davis, that we brought on just for a little balance. Tom is with us, former Republican congressman from Northern Virginia and the favorite congressman of Newt Gingrich. I've told you that story many, many times. Now, all that having been said, joining us now is Judge Jeanine Pirro. You can see her on Fox News on Saturday. She's out with a new book also called Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, The Case Against the Anti-Trump Conspiracy. Judge Jeanine, welcome. You're in the Lion's Den.
Good morning. How are you?
We're never better. Is everybody good?
Okay. Good. I can hear it.
Okay. Yeah. Everybody can hear you, Judge. Look, I'm going to start. I got to start by reacquainting you with Tom Davis. He says you guys go back for some time. And Tom, can you tell us a quick Judge Jeanine story? And then
I tried to get her to run for Congress. She was district attorney up in Westchester.
Tom, how are you?
I'm fine, and she made the right decision. That's all I can tell you. You would have been frustrated coming with us.
Being on Fox and being able to talk about exactly what I think is a lot better for me. But it's good to be with you, Tom. I hope all is well, and I hope you're still fighting the good fight.
I'm trying to. I'm in the Lion's Den here, but thanks. Good to talk to you.
All right, so Judge, I'm going to get into your new book in a minute, but let's start with the president's tweet yesterday, and then we'll get to Helsinki and some other issues quickly here. All capital letters, his tweet yesterday. Basically, I mean, you've never seen this in diplomacy. The president of the United States telling the Iranian government and President Khomeini, basically, if you mess with the United States, he's going to bring fire and fury. It was all in capitals. Is this the new way we do diplomacy? What did you make of that, Judge?
Well, first of all, let me just say that it was Rouhani who started with the statement, the threatening statement to the United States. You know, we all know the president is a counterpuncher, and he started with Pompeo. What has happened in Iran is this. The Iranian people are at their wits' end. There are billions of dollars that have gone to Iran that we gave them, and it was supposed to go to the people for jobs, etc. And what is happening now is that the upper echelon is hanging on to the money, obviously, and the president is very clear that they're not going to threaten us. Look, these people live every day, death to America, death to the Israel, and he's not going to take it. He talks the way people understand. The only way he got Kim Jong-un to a table was to talk tough with him, and he did. And today's news, he's continuing to dismantle his nuclear sites. And the same with Rouhani. You know, don't play with us. We're not going to take it. You're not going to push us around. We're not Barack Obama. You're not going to step on us. You're not going to get money from us. You know, we are a powerful force to be reckoned with.
Judge, let me just ask you one question, and I liked his tweet because it's the New World Order and it's him, and I think it fits. But I mean, isn't there a bit of a duplicity here with the media? Because on one hand, you've got everybody screaming that the Russian Federation meddled in our election process. Of course, they've been doing it since 1919. It isn't anything new, and they got screaming about that. But then on the other hand, you got a U.S. president basically calling for toppling the Iranian government. I mean, how does that play? I mean, it's like they can't meddle with ours, but we can call on. I mean, they basically called for a revolution in Iran. ahead.
You threaten the United States, and you're not playing with Barack Obama. It's as simple as that. We're not going to take it anymore. We're not going to allow you to threaten us. Look, this all started in 1979. And, they had a Jimmy Carter, when our people were kidnapped or taken as hostages. There's no more Jimmy Carter around. Ronald Reagan is back in the name of Donald Trump. And there is no problem. Look, if the tough talk is what it takes, if our building up our military is what it takes, then so be it. We are not going to be run over, roughshod, and threatened by these, by these haters who want to destroy us. What are you going to do? Go to your abuser and
John,
say it's okay,
I would say that
we won't say anything about it?
I would say that if Ms. Pirro believes that that North Korea is dismantling their nuclear thing, I got a bridge to sell her in New York.
So
okay, let me ask
have
you
a doubter
this.
here.
Why is it that Donald Trump was the only one to meet with Kim Jong-un? Why is it that it was the Democrats?
It was a bad idea.
And
Kim Jong-un and Putin took that man to the
$billions
cleaners,
to this
Ms.
guy
Pirro,
who
and you
feeds
know
him.
it.
And Kim
Took him to
Jong-un
the
took his
cleaners.
lunch money.
Yeah, but I mean, what is wrong
the-
with having diplomacy, right? I mean,
There's
you're
nothing-
better off having a dialogue than not having a dialogue.
It's
Tom.
better than being on the brink of war,
I
which is
think
where
so.
they had this before.
Right.
Well, let me tell you, why
let me,
hasn't Kim Jong-un launched any missiles in the last 9 months?
No,
Do you think that just happens?
No, I think meeting was a good thing. I think it calmed everything down. The one thing I'd say about the Ayatollah is if you expose corruption, that's what brought the Shah down.
That's right.
And these days, the way that information flows out, even in Iran, you want to undermine the regime. You show this guy's sitting on billions of dollars that he's stolen. That's the way you bring the
So you
regime down.
think that was Pompeo's strategy? Is
I think
basically
it's-
do the same
if
thing they
it-
did with
if
the
it-
Shah.
If it's accurate, this could be the death knell.
All right, Judge. Let's get. Did you have a comment, Ben?
Yeah, I just wanted to say to the judge,
Ben Tribbett.
I've been watching, obviously I think we all watch your show, and I just don't know, since Donald Trump has become president, whether we should call you a judge or a sudja, which is what they call a judge in Moscow. Because, this government has become a Kremlin annex government in the White House, and it's embarrassing. And you ought to be embarrassed as an American. We're seeing protests out in front of the White House every night since Trump has gotten back from Helsinki.
They're going to protest.
I mean,
anything.
they've raised $100,000 for the protests just in the last week since he's gotten back from.
All right.
from-
What is your
so-
name, sir? I'm sorry, I didn't get it. What is your name?
Ben Tribbett.
All right, Ben. Let me tell you something, Ben. Bill Clinton met with Putin on 2 different occasions alone. Barack Obama met with him on 5 occasions after he annexed Crimea. Barack, I'd love to know what he was talking about when he said to Medvedev, tell Vlad I'll have more flexibility after the election. And George Bush had Putin at his ranch, hooting and hollering, and they met 3 times. So don't give me this crap about the president meeting with Putin as if he should be hung because he should be charged with treason.
The issue isn't that he met with Putin. The issue is that he's given up the policy to Putin.
He hasn't given up any policy. They had a conversation. I mean, the president has said
The president's calling to break up NATO. The president has annexed American policy to Russia.
That's ridiculous. Look,
Oh,
he
that's
talked
hogwash.
about
Then you tell me.
he talked
You
about
tell
breaking
me
up
why
NATO
we've
when he
got the
ran
most
in
severe
2015.
sanctions
Hey,
ever.
Gene,
You tell
let's
me
face
while
it. You and I
Barack
both know
Obama
Trump couldn't
stood by
organize
when
a
they
hunt for his own
annexed
rear end.
Why did
I mean, why don't you all
Barack
face
not
up to
draw
that?
the line in
Yeah,
the
he's gotta win
sand?
again.
Why did he not follow up with it? Why did
Jeff-
Barack Obama do nothing after Crimea but meet with Putin? Why is it that Trump's the one who threw out the diplomats and closed the consulates? Trump's the one who's killed hundreds of Russians in Syria. Trump's the one who's saying to Germany, why are you buying your energy from Russia and then asking me to protect you through NATO in the event Russia attacks you?
Yes,
Come on,
indeed.
guys.
Flush your NATO allies. flush the
they
Canadian
gotta pay
Prime
up.
Minister and take
because
up with Kim Jong-un and
they're
Putin.
screwing up
They're
our
just
trade.
two of our greatest allies
Judge,
of all time.
Judge, the elected Democratic officials I'm here with in Northern Virginia have become unglued. You know why, Judge? Because they know Trump is going to win again in 2020. I don't know what they're going to do, but they're all my friends. But Judge, that night that he wins in 2020, I'm going to be sure and go to their party, and if they're on the second or third floor, shut all the windows so they don't jump out of them, because that's where we're headed, Judge. Let me talk about your new book.
Let's talk about my book, guys.
Liars,
That's
Leakers,
why I
and
came
Liberals.
on.
Tell us about your book.
My book is a connect the dots about what the Democrats did in the Department of Justice and the FBI to drag a flawed, corrupt female candidate across the presidential finish line, and then in the event, God forbid, Donald Trump would win, create an insurance policy of Russia collusion so that they could spend the last 20 months to try to impeach him. There is no Russia collusion, and all this
Comey just did a great job of supporting the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Is ridiculous when you look at the number of times the Democrats met with him. Look, the Democrats they're having a hissy fit. They have been trying to shut down people, just like I was shut down on The View the other day, and then thrown out of the building. In
They
the
threw you
end,
out of the building?
the left is trying to shut down the right, whether we go to a university and try to speak or whether we simply go on a show to talk about a book. That is fascism. And for them to claim that, Donald Trump and his followers are fascism is a total lie. We are not allowed to say what we think. There's only one way to think according to the left. And if you don't think like them, they're going to shut you down. That's
All right,
the
we're
problem, and that's why I wrote Liars, Leakers, and Liberals. I got 30 years as a prosecutor, a judge, and a DA. I know this. I know a con when I see it. And to use a FISA court and have people like Andrew McCabe, Jim Comey lie to Congress, lie to the president, use a fake dossier by a woman who ran for president and paid for a lying piece of crap as the basis for surveillance on the American citizen to go into a presidential campaign. That's what they do in Russia. That's what they do in third world countries. And so my book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, is all about that.
Judge, we're so very sweet to you on our panel here. Why were they so mean to you at The View?
I don't know. It's on YouTube. You can watch it yourself.
I know. I
They
saw
didn't
it.
want to hear what I
couldn't
had
believe
to
it.
say.
All right.
Can I jump in?
Oh,
John?
yes, Ben. Absolutely. Liars, Leakers, and Liberals. Judge Jeanine Pirro. You can get an Amazon
I
at your
have
favorite
10 minutes,
bookstore.
guys. I've got another show. Let's do one more.
Judge, I'd just like to say, and we're actually sitting here on this panel, and I actually think this is a great opportunity that just occurred to me as you were speaking, talking about Andrew McCabe, because you've been sort of furthering conspiracy theories on your show about the money that Andrew's wife received from Terry McAuliffe, that it was funneled from the Clinton campaign and whatnot. We actually are on the show here with the Democratic leader in the Virginia Senate, who actually ran that campaign committee, and could probably provide you with some facts of that is the biggest load of BS conspiracy theory that has, I think, ever gone on, and I think you ought to be embarrassed by having repeated it, but I think Dick might want to jump in.
First off, nobody even knew what her husband did until about 3 weeks before the election, and by then she had gotten money, from McCall's PAC fund. She was basically recruited by Ralph Northam, who knew her as a doctor. Okay, and nobody knew what her husband did until the Innova gala when I met him, and I asked him. I said, "What do you?" I asked. I said, well, "Where do you work?" And he says, "Well, I'm field." And he was a field. Nobody knew. He didn't know at the time. Hold on. He didn't know. He didn't know at the time, and neither did anybody else. That 6 months later, he would then become the number 2 or 3 person. He was running the field office out there in Loudoun County for the FBI. This is the biggest load. You're right, Ben. The biggest load of crap I've ever heard.
McAuliffe met with him in his office. Look, I took your position and I've changed on it. Judge Jeanine Pirro, we're going to give you the final word, but I just got to promo your book, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals, The Case Against the Anti-Trump Conspiracy. You can get it at Amazon, or you can get it at your favorite bookstore, Liars, Leakers, and Liberals.
Does it start out once upon a time?
A must-read by Judge Jeanine Pirro. Judge, you got the final word. Go ahead.
The only once upon a time was with the Clintons and what they did with their organized criminal enterprise known as a 501c3, where they took hundreds of billions of dollars. There's never been a legitimate forensic analysis of it. Jim Comey. And by the way, guys, do you know who gave the Clinton Global Initiative the okay as a 501c3 in 2009?
Who?
Lois Lerner, that bastion of honesty over there in the IRS. Look,
three black helicopters just pulled up outside.
Got some tinfoil hats here.
Hundreds of footnotes in the book. You get the book on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and I will go toe-to-toe with you any day. What's in the book is factual.
Great
Thanks,
job,
guys, for having
Jeanine.
me on.
Thank you, Judge Jeanine Pirro. We really appreciate your time. I'll see you at your party tonight. Liars, Leakers, and Liberals. Judge Jeanine Pirro. Got to buy it. Amazon or your favorite bookstore. Judge, thanks for being with us. Thank you so much. I'll see you tonight. John Fredericks Radio Network.